Hey guys, Andy McCann, CrossFit Garage, where routine is the enemy and competition is king. I have figured out a way to make this video swing for the fences for all of you. Here we go. All right, so if you want to see the workouts in quick succession, you can pause the video and just look at what I just did for you. You can get off the video now and see everything you wanted. Everybody else that wants to hear why we do what we do, here it goes. So on Monday, a couple things we're going to do for this week. We're going to have some little bit of testers. So we have as many push-ups as you can in 1 minute, and you should know kind of what you could do because of the Tabatas. So keep that in mind and go to town. You are going to do that for a minute, rest for a minute, and then go right into the actual workout. So consider that kind of a buy-in. So get the workout sorted and prepped and ready to go. We have the 500-meter row buy-in with an 11-minute AMRAP. So you do the row, and then you do this wall balls, kettlebell swings, and dumbbell cleans. And so I've got a standard I want to sort of just get to, so I don't have to keep writing this over and over. On RX Plus, I'm just going to say RX Plus wall ball standard. And what that's going to be is get the 30-pound ball and go to the 10-foot target, or get a 20-pound ball and go above that second cinder block above the red line. So basically you're doing about an extra 1.5 foot of work there. For the girls, take the normal ball, the 14-pound ball, and go to the men's target, or take your take a 20-pound ball and go to your target. So that's the standard for the wall ball. So just keep that in mind. I probably won't keep writing that, but you'll know it and you'll see it there. And then we're doing front squats rather than back squats. So keep your elbows up. Should help you in the clean. Tuesday, max sit-ups in 1 minute, and then hit this longer workout. It's got runs and power snatches. So similar to, what is it, Nicole? It's a run with an overhead squat, but we're going to use power snatches and RX Plus right there. Oops, did I forget to, yeah, I show you the RX Plus. You saw that. And anyway, RX Plus for this guy, and then bench press. So continuing with the press types on Tuesday. Wednesday, air squat max for 1 minute, rest a minute, and then move into the workout. 21:59. Should do this for time. And then, of course, RX Plus is down at the bottom, 75%, and burpee over the bar. So you guys have to remember, the reason CrossFit works is because of intensity. Now, intensity could be defined as a heavy weight lifted, like in deadlift, or it can be defined as in the, I guess, the sweat factor you feel at the end of a workout. Scientifically, intensity is the same thing as power, and power is work divided by time. So we want you to have a amount of work and do it fast, or in an AMRAP, when you have a certain amount of time, do more work. So basically, you want to increase that numerator and decrease that denominator for those that love math. But in CrossFit, the intensity is key. So who are we competing against? You're competing against yourself, and then maybe a friend or two that's at the gym. You want to push each other. So I say competition is king because there's no better way to push yourself in performance than to compete against, well, to be in competition, whether it's your friends or your enemies or whatever. But if you're competing, you'll push yourself. So just remember that when you're doing this. Either compete against your old time, which is why we use Wodify, or compete against your friends, which is why we have, healthy friendships, right? So Thursday, this day is actually all about the snatch. So we're going to do a 500-meter row, max effort. Then you're going to rest and do your either pull-ups if you got them, or ring rows if you don't. So do one of those. Make the ring row as hard as you can. So, keep your feet underneath the rings, or even scoot them forward so that your body's underneath the rings. Make them tough. And then see how many you can do. So you'll get through that. That won't take you that long. You should be pretty warmed up. And then you're going to start into your snatch for a 1-rep max, which we haven't done in a bit. We've had a lot of Thursday overhead squat and snatch balance or snatch practice. So now we're going to put it together. This is a snatch, which means you are to squat into it. So I want good form. We all need to know how to get under the bar. So the whole last couple weeks with Thursday was for this, and we'll retest it again. But see what you can do with good forms. Lock your shoulders in there. The coaches are there to help you. So in today's workout for intensity, this is intense. This, it's sort of intense. These two, it's going to vary completely on where you are, unfortunately. Everyone can row, so that will be intense. But the lift, so a snatch is quick, so the time is very low, and the weight can be high. So the work you're doing, the numerator is up, and the time it takes to do it is down. So the power or intensity is big. And then on Friday, we're doing a workout that we've done in the past with a slight change to help it move a little differently. So you'll see in there, this was slightly confusing before, but in order to help people kind of have the same sort of experience, I've given the opportunity to do either pull-ups or ring rows, but still score them as a pull-up score. So if you did, 16 ring rows, then that would be a score of 8, right? Then sit-ups, we replaced that one from last time. And then your lunges with a plate, right? So you're doing 450 pounds or 180 pounds if you're guys. And so if you grab a 25-pound plate, that'd be 18 lunges. Or you could do a 45-pound plate and do 10 lunges, right? So whatever you want, whatever you think you can hold above your head and keep it going. This bit will change because last time we had a bar and it was overhead work. So this shouldn't or the sit-ups won't impact your shoulders like we did last time. So you may feel like, hey, I'll use a heavier weight, see if I can move through this workout quicker. On the RX Plus side, 5 muscle-ups or 10 bar muscle-ups. Ladies, you do have the option to do 15 chest-to-bar pull-ups, but they're all scored as 5. GHD sit-ups. Please remember, GHD sit-up is not really anything about your stomach. It's all about your quad and hip flexor. So get your coach to show you what that means. Okay, so now for some fun factoids. If you've never looked at the CrossFit manual, you should take a gander at it. You should peruse it. Peruse actually doesn't mean what we all think it means. Peruse means to read in depth and detail. So most people say, well, it just means to look at casually. It doesn't. Peruse this document. It is awesome. This right here is kind of the secret sauce of CrossFit. So this phosphagen and glycolytic cycle, those are your anaerobic or non-oxidative, so your greens, your oxidative cycles, and you see how long they last. So really not even longer than 60 seconds. So it's a lift, a movement, not really a run, but we do like to run as well. So this bit right here, anaerobic, is not burning oxygen. It's non-oxidative. So, I mean, you're burning some oxygen, of course, you're breathing, but it pulls from these cycles. So we want to build your time domains here, push these graphs out. What it's doing here is that magic of CrossFit. It helps you get stronger and more endurance, as well as burn fat because it's not burning as much oxygen, so it's got to burn something. So this is the chart that we live on. The other chart I'd love for you guys to see, that if you've done a level 1 certification, then you've seen this, but if you haven't, this is pretty neat. So Amy's video, or not video, her shout out, her testimonial, her spotlight talked about this what I'm going to go over here. So with her osteoporosis or anybody else that's sick, so there are some definitions or some markers in your body. So if your temperature is 105, you're sick, right? If it's 98, then you're well. So fitness brings you to another side. For example, let's take heartbeat. So sick, your heartbeat may be, 120 beats per minute because whatever, you got a fever. Or I don't know, on the other side, maybe it's 10 beats per minute and you're almost dead. I don't know. But your heartbeat out of range is, sick. Well is something like 60 beats per minute, right? 70 beats per minute or 50 beats per minute, but that's that well side of it. Fitness is usually something lower on your beats per minute. So it could be 50, 55. I guess there are some people out there that can get it lower. But if you were to get sick, you would have to, let's say you're fit and you got a 50 beats per minute and you get sick. Well, your marker for that beats, let's say it goes up by 10, whatever, you're at 60 beats per minute. You're still what people will call well. Even at 70, you're still what people will call well. So you may be sick, but you'll have to pass through markers of wellness. So fitness gives you a buffer against being on the really bad side of sick. So you can look at all these things, body fat, right? We know what sickness looks like. We know what well looks like. Fitness has us pass through that. So again, this is just kind of a neat thing to look at, what we're building inside of ourselves, those 10 general physical principles. Let me go see if I can find that. All right, it's right here. So cardiovascular respiratory endurance, this first one right here, stamina, strength, flexibility, power, speed, coordination, agility, balance, and accuracy. So all that stuff that we're trying to build inside of you helps build that fitness regime in you so that you can stay on this side of well. There's another chart that they show in here that's really cool, and we'll probably go over some of this in our July 23rd seminar. So you can come to this document and read over this. It's pretty neat. But so at the age of 20, this is your power or your intensity and your time scale. So basically, if you're out for 30 minutes, your power output's pretty low, like you went and jogged, right? You can't carry around a 350-pound deadlift, for 30 minutes. It's just not going to happen. But your power output can be high at a very small level. So right here, you could have a 500-pound deadlift. Doesn't take you long to do, and that's a lot of work, right? So Fran maybe somewhere in here, Nicole somewhere right in there, but you get the idea. The short time domain should allow you, if you're fit, to generate a lot of power in a lift, in a movement, or something. In a long time domain, you should still be able to generate power, but you just can't do as much because it's been a long time. And that's at age 20. So this is a chart for the average 20-year-old in this case doing these exercises. There's another chart they use for work capacity over your lifetime. So here's your power output, and here's your timeline for your ages and years, right? So it's supposed to be on a 3D chart. If you can see that this thing is sort of bent sideways. In your time domain here, if you count it up, that's probably right in your 20 to 30 years old. You should be hitting peak performance, and then you'll trail back out, right? So it's a neat kind of graph to look at and some things to kind of consider about what am I doing now and what am I beating. So for me, as a 42-year-old guy who's got 4 kids, who's been doing CrossFit for nearly 10 years, I find it fascinating that this chart is not stagnant. The other day we did the row thrusters pull-ups. I can't think of the name of the workout right now, but and I was almost nearly a minute faster, or 30 seconds faster than what I did before, and I feel like I could have done it even faster. So when I competed against Tim Nickerson, I was 1 second ahead of him. The last time, I felt like I could have gone, even 20 seconds faster. Or like in Fran, my number is pretty decent, and I could probably hit it again. I don't really want to. Or Grace, the number I've held pretty steady for about 4 years, and I just beat it. So as an older guy, I am able to continually beat where I was in the past just simply by focusing on this intensity. Okay, so that was a long video. Watch what you like. Y'all take care. See you soon.